Welcome, tubers, to another instructional Dr. Jet video from deep within the bowels of my laboratory, located in an undisclosed location somewhere along the Southern California coast. Today, I am working on one of my favorite guitars. This is the Standard Series Squier Stratocaster, and this is one I built for somebody, a long time ago. I'm not sure. But I really like these. I have a real hard time making sure I get this darn thing in the video. I really like these Standard Series guitars. They have unique features. They feature the old CBS style headstock, the really big one. 22 frets, decent tuning machines. One of my modifications is to put these threaded inserts in the neck and use stainless steel screws to attach the neck. That way I get a real good joint in here. And if you see, I sand this pocket out because it gets blobs of paint on it, so you get a good contact surface. That's one of my mods. And then obviously this is not a stock pickguard. Hand wound pickups, nicely wired, American switch, full size pots, Russian paper and oil capacitor, perfect solder joints everywhere, everything neat. What we're doing today is, this is a common problem on these standards, and I didn't think it would happen to this one. Most of the standards of that time period, it was 2001 through 2008 or 9, maybe 2010, and then production went over to China. This is one of the Indonesian ones. But here is the problem right here. This stud held the 2-point bridge. Unlike the cheaper guitars, the Standard Squiers, used a 2-point bridge that was similar, but not the same, as the American one. It has slightly different spacing here, so you cannot interchange an American and a Squier. And finding another bridge, 2-point bridge that has this spacing is oftentimes challenging. So I always keep the bridges. I replace the inertia block, the sustain block, with steel, just because they have a little wimpy a zinc one that's just a tone suck. So I put a steel block on there as part of my mod package on these standards. And you clean up the frets, put in this case a tusk nut, do a good joint here, put a steel block here, redo the pickups and the wiring. I mean, that's equivalent to anything that comes out from Fender's custom shop as far as what you have in here. They're hand-wound pickups. So there it is. I'm doing a little work on this. Now what I've done here, what happens is this post, because there's so much tension on it, and oftentimes they'll leave the whammy bar hanging down here and they'll hit it when they set the guitar down, will knock this little chunk of wood. Am I looking at it here? I don't know. This little chunk of wood between this hole and the wall will knock out. And you can see, I don't know if you can see my finger. Where's my finger? I don't know. Anyway, here, let me zoom back. Anyway, it knocks that little piece out. So what I do is I mix up a batch of this really nice L285 epoxy. This has been sitting around for 2 or 3 hours now. Yeah, this stuff takes a good good 24 hours to go off. And as you can see, it's already starting to set up a little bit, but it's the consistency of maple syrup. So I fill up this hole with this epoxy, and it flows into all the cracks, all the nooks and crannies, and every now and then, every hour or so, I'll have to go back in here, because as it sort of oozes in there, I'll add another drop, just to keep it topped off. And once this thing sets up, I'm going to go back in and re-drill that hole so that this will be just a snug press fit in there. Not a hydraulic press fit, because that'll stress everything. Not a loose, sloppy fit. So I'll go in there with the appropriate drill size. I think it's 25/64, so I'll have to double check. But so I'm going to go in there, put this up on the drill press, and we'll drill that out to exactly that depth. Actually, I'll drill it so I can go as deep as this one. This one's sunk in about a 1/16, so I'll set my drill about that deep when I go in here and drill this out. So the next video, we'll put this whole thing together and it'll be done. My Standard Squier mods. I like these guitars. I had to cut a notch in here to clear that pot. Such is the nature of guitar work. Anyway, jet out.